In a valley cradled between mountains that seemed older than memory, the fog slept like silk across the earth. It settled into the hollows, curling around rocks, threading between pine trunks, and draping the river in soft white lace. The river itself moved without hurry, carrying pebbles, leaves, and forgotten stories, murmuring them along its winding path. Among these ordinary things, rocks, moss, water, there was one stone, not remarkable in color or shape, not carved by human hands, not the subject of legend, yet it held a secret. It could listen. It did not speak, it did not judge, it merely listened. The wind passed over the stone, singing through needles of pine, brushing its surface with invisible fingers. Rain fell upon it, and snow layered it in gentle quiet. The stone's patience was infinite. Its attention encompassed the song of the river, the murmurs of the trees, the silent footfalls of monks who walked the temple's moss-covered courtyard barefoot, feeling every vibration of the earth. One day, a young monk arrived in the valley. He had traveled far, through cities of stone and rivers of light, through forests thick with human noise. He carried with him books, scrolls, and knowledge of countless teachings, yet inside he felt hollow, like a vessel with no bottom, always swallowing meaning before it could settle. His mind was restless. He sought something he could not name. He found the stone beside the river and bowed. "Stone, I seek enlightenment. Can you guide me?" The stone remained silent. The monk waited. Hours passed. Days passed. Fog drifted and returned. Birds flew above, their wings slicing the sky with quiet poetry. Leaves fell onto the stone, and the river curved around it. The stone did not move. Frustrated, the monk struck the stone lightly with his palm. "Why do you not answer? Are you blind? Deaf? Do you not understand me?" A raven landed nearby, ruffling its feathers. Its croak split the morning like a bell. For the first time, the monk noticed him, not just as sound in background, but as a presence. Then he noticed the river, the wind, the fog, and then, slowly, he noticed himself noticing. The monk realized, in a quiet flicker, that the stone's silence was not absence. It was presence. It held the river, the wind, the fog, the trees, the birds, and the passing clouds, not as objects to be named or measured, but as they simply were. The stone listened without expectation, without desire, without urgency. That night, the monk slept beside the stone. He lay on the cool earth, feeling the pulse of the valley through his body. He dreamt of the stone rolling across mountains he had never seen, of rivers bending into themselves, of clouds folding over the mountains like paper cranes. He dreamt of infinite possibilities, each one perfectly still, each one quietly holding itself. When he awoke, the stone remained where it had always been. The fog had lifted slightly. The river sang a different tune. Yet something within the monk had shifted. He understood, not through thought, but through seeing, that enlightenment was not a destination. It was not a thing to grasp or a mantra to recite. It was the stone itself, patient, silent, infinitely present. He bowed again, not for instruction, not for reward, not for recognition, but in gratitude. And in the quiet of the valley he felt the stone breathe. Perhaps it had always breathed. Perhaps he had only just begun to notice. Weeks passed. The young monk learned to move through the valley without clinging. He walked along the riverbank, letting his feet sink into moss. He listened to the wind, letting it swirl around him. He watched snowflakes land on the stones and saw each one as a fleeting universe, perfect and complete, then gone. Every day he returned to the stone. Sometimes he spoke, sometimes he remained silent, sometimes he simply sat, letting the stone's patience seep into his own heart. He noticed the way the light changed on its surface, from the cold silver of dawn to the gold of afternoon, to the deep indigo of twilight. Each moment, the stone reflected nothing and everything. He began to understand that every tree, every ripple in the water, every shadow cast by the mountains was a teacher, not through instruction, not through language, but through presence. The valley itself was alive with lessons, and the stone was the most profound among them. One morning, as mist curled along the water, the monk followed the river upstream. He noticed how it navigated obstacles, not by resistance, but by flowing. Around boulders, beneath fallen branches, over small waterfalls, the river carried everything with it. Stones, twigs, leaves, but none of it hindered its movement. The monk realized that life was like the river. Resistance caused suffering. Flexibility allowed harmony. And just as the river needed nothing from the stones it passed, the self needed nothing from the world to be complete. When he returned, the stone was waiting. Not waiting in the sense of expectation, but waiting as presence itself. The monk knelt beside it and let go of his questions. He released desire, released striving, released the hunger for answers. The stone listened, and in listening, it taught. The sound of nothing. At dusk, the valley grew silent. Birds nested. Fog rolled over the mountains. The river softened into a whisper, and the monk closed his eyes. He could hear his own mind, once loud and insistent, fading. He could hear the stone, the wind, the river, the fog, quietly intertwining. He realized the sound of nothing is not absence, it is presence. The valley, the stone, the river, the monk, they were not separate. They were, one continuous song. Each note contained the others. Each pause carried infinity. Each breath held the valley, the mountains, the sky. For the first time, the monk did not need to seek. He simply listened. Years passed. Seasons came and went. The young monk grew older. His hair grayed, his steps slowed. Yet he carried nothing with him. No books, no doctrines, no desire to explain. He taught only what could not be taught: attention, presence, listening. Travelers came to the valley, seeking something. Some left disappointed, expecting miracles, words, answers. Others stayed, and they learned, slowly, that the valley's teaching was not in what was said, but in what was noticed. The stone remained, weathered by rain, wind, snow, and sun, a silent teacher, infinitely patient, not moving, not needing, just existing. Sometimes, in the quiet of night, the monk would place his hand on the stone, and in that contact, he felt the pulse of eternity. He felt the song of mountains, rivers, wind, fog, and all beings. He felt the breath of the world itself contained in a single listening stone. When at last the monk lay down at the end of his days, he did not fear death. He did not clutch life. He did not question or plead. He was like the stone, silent, patient, present. In the valley, the fog still slept between the mountains. The river still carried its stories. The wind still whispered through pine needles. The stone remained, listening. And the valley, the river, the stone, the monk, the wind, the fog, they were never separate. They were one continuous, breathing moment. Infinite, perfect, unmoving, yet flowing, silent, yet endlessly teaching. And in that silence the world smiled.